So I wanted to set up a camera that I could talk to while I'm driving, probably without looking at it, but, maybe occasional glance. But this is, I thought of this a few times before, and I thought, if I had like a GoPro up here, that'd be great. Just kind of permanently mounted. I mean, I don't do that much driving in the car and wanting to vlog or whatever, but I thought, I've got this little journey coming up today. I figured I may as well do it. So I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? Don't have a GoPro, but I do have lots of Lumix cameras. So what I figured out was that I could take the G7, which is probably the lightest camera that I have. It's definitely the lightest camera that I have that has a microphone input. Rig that here up in the car, and this would be perfect. So let me show you how I've done this. So here's what we've got. The G7 is mounted upside down. That's pretty obvious there. And it's on a little suction mount. I honestly have no idea where I got that thing. I've had that for years. But little suction mount on there is holding the camera upside down. The LCD flips out so I can ensure that framing is right. The trick is, honestly, it's when looking at the camera to look at the lens and not look at the LCD. It's very easy to, make that mistake. But this is why Casey wears glasses all the time, which I might be wearing while I'm driving, so it could work out pretty well. Anyways, let's go back to this. You've got the camera there hanging upside down. This camera has a microphone port, so plugged into that is, well, not a mic. Where's the mic? Hold on a second. Let's follow this cable, and there it is. So check that out. I've got the Rode Mini Micro microphone, which doesn't require any additional power, and it's got its little native red cable and then into an extension. I actually first had it just plugged into a regular cable, but I was getting a buzz, so that's had to go, and I replaced it with the extension cable, and that seems to be working quite well. Now let's talk about power. Power is not on the battery, but power is on an AC power adapter here. So follow this guy down, and voila, it is plugged into a power inverter. Okay, that's a mess on the floor. Don't give me grief. And I would not obviously leave it here if I was doing this full time, but it's a good little temp setup. And then the last thing, check this out. What's that cable? Ooh, follow that one down. The remote, so that I can very easily stop recording while on the move. Now that is pretty cool. So there's the whole setup. Camera, obviously memory card recording internally in there. It is, we got the microphone feeding up here, which should give us a better sound than just the on-camera mic. And I brought it over here so it's nice and close to me, because obviously when you're driving, road noise, all that, we want to get the mic close. Got the remote, got the power. I think we're good to go. Now, I do know for a fact that if I start the car, I'm going to lose recording because the camera's going to power cycle. So let's stop recording over there. Let's go ahead and start the car because I want to hear how this sounds with the engine running. All right, so car's going. Obviously we're not driving, but got car engine noise. Let's get this recording back going again. And there is that recording again. Now, okay, it's a bit dark, and this is kind of interesting. So I've been playing with how do I want to set up the camera? How do I set up the metering? I had it on multi-zone metering, and I had dialed in overexposure, and that has reset now that I've turned the camera off. So let me just reach over and dial that up a little bit. That'd be the wrong way. Dial that up a little bit, maybe a bit too much. I also played with spot, and I'm going to try that again because I'm going to be in a pretty consistent spot. And if I can put the spot right on my face, then the metering should be better. So that's something we're going to try as well. So that's something I'll futz around with a little bit. But this is the car with the engine on, microphones up here, and we'll see how this works out.